Hello, I'm your Superhero Critic, and welcome to another heroic review. With the success of the Iron Man series and the success of the Captain America series, of course Marvel will go to one of their other properties, the Mighty Thor. So, without further ado, because I personally don't have a really good introduction because I couldn't think of anything, so right now I'm just rambling and waving my arms like a giant chicken. This is Thor. Thor begins in the middle of New Mexico with our female lead, Jane, played by Natalie Portman, awaiting a scientific discovery which turns out to be a huge tornado that drops off a naked man. If I had $1 every time a naked man fell through the sky straight in front of me, I would still be as poor as I am. We then get narration exposition of the Frost Giants versus Odin's army giant battle and how the gods protected the humans. We go to young Loki and Thor discussing with Odin that one day one of them will overthrow him as king before flash forwarding to a ceremony in Thor's honor that is quickly interrupted by Frost Giants trying to steal from the relic's vault. Thor is pissed off, of course, as he fights with his father to attack the giants.
Of Asgard.
But you're not king!
Of course, Thor chooses to go to Jotunheim anyway, and despite his friends not wanting to partake, they choose to be by his side anyway. Heimdall warns our group that as gatekeeper he will not endanger the realm just for Thor if something would happen. When they get to Jotunheim, Thor wants answers from Laufey. Of course, none are given, as the kings of the Frost Giants insults our hero.
Run back home, little princess.
Dad.
Thor! Oh wait, that's not a golf club. I'm too poor for golf clubs. The fight begins as the Asgardians fight the giants, and during the battle we see a startling secret of Loki's, and Fandral is stabbed in the chest with ice. As our group make their getaway, they are chased by a humongous frost creature. Thor tries to help by striking lightning into all of the giants, but the creature crawls under the ice for a giant pop-up attack. Thor flies in to save the day. Odin shows up in time to get Laufey away from the group. Back in Asgard, Thor gets into a huge argument with his enraged father, who begins to strip his son of all power and casts him out of Asgard until he's worthy enough to come back. Which brings us back to the beginning of the film, with Jay and her annoying sidekick Darcy ranting about hitting him with the car. When they see that he's okay, they see that he starts mumbling to himself before Darcy does something completely stupid.
Heimdall! I know you can hear me. Open the Bifrost.
Hospital, you go. I'll stay.
You. What realm is this? Alfheim? Dornheim?
New Mexico?
You dare threaten me, Thor, with so puny a weapon?
Remind me not to freak her out, especially since might get tasered somewhere I don't want to get tasered. While Thor is in the hospital, Jane and her group go through their photos and see the human-shaped mass in their images. They head to the hospital only to not find him until, once again, Jane hits him with her car.
So we're gonna find him.
Okay.
So you're gonna look all over New Mexico, right?
Exactly. What? I'm so sorry.
Okay, I am never going to get in a car with Natalie Portman. She is seriously trying to kill Thor. We then go through a montage of people trying to pick up Thor's hammer and failing in the process. We jump to Loki arguing with the four Asgardians about why he told Odin Thor's plan to begin with, and then we find Loki trying to figure out more about himself, and him and Odin give Loki's backstory about being half frost giant. The argument gets heated as Odin slips into a deep sleep.
Why you favored Thor all these years? Because no matter how much you claim to love me,
You could never have a frost giant sitting on the throne of Asgard.
While eating at a diner, Thor overhears a random customer babbling about a heavy object no one can lift outside of town, and Thor heads off to go find his hammer, while Jane's trio goes back to their place only to find uniformed men stealing all of her scientific material.
Do you for violating my constitutional rights?
I'm sorry, Miss Foster, but we're the good guys.
So are we. I'm on the verge of understanding something extraordinary. And everything I know about this phenomenon is either in this lab or in this book, and you can't just take this away. Hey!
Clearly, they can. The four warriors go to see Odin, only to find out that Loki is now in charge with the chain of command within the kingdom. Loki ignores everything they say anyway. Thor reunites with Jane, and as they get more acquainted, they head to the outskirts of town, and back at Asgard, we see Loki and his mother discussing Odin's choice of keeping Loki's past a secret from him. On Earth, we see that the men in coats have barricaded the hammer, and of course, Thor wastes no time in getting his property back as he takes on the entire team until he meets one lone huge guy.
You're big. Fought bigger.
As our mud wrestling continues, a certain archer is keeping an eye on our hero as he finally picks up his hammer, or at least tries to. I wonder why he thought it would be that easy. Plot points! After his failure, Thor is taken into custody, and he is then questioned by Agent Coulson on where he got his training from. Loki then visits his brother, lying to him, saying that Thor caused his father's death, and claiming Thor returned to Asgard has been forbidden. Dr. Solovik lies to Coulson about who Thor is, and Coulson allows Thor to leave so he can find out more information about him. While Thor has a heart-to-heart with Solovik, Loki strikes a deal with Laufey to help him take over Asgard. Heimdall, of course, knows something's going on, but is threatened to keep the portals open. The next scene is all that lovey-dovey crap between Jane and Thor, where Thor teaches her about the 9 realms, and Jane really does nothing but be Jane. So, I'm gonna skip that scene and go to the next one. The four warriors try to come up with a plan on finding Thor, which Heimdall kind of helps with by stepping aside and letting them use the portals. As Thor reacquaints with his friend, Loki freezes Heimdall for the betrayal and sends the destroyer down to attack his brother and his friend. That clearly didn't work. Destroyer does what he does best and starts destroying the entire town. Thor does the honorable thing and sacrifices himself to his brother. After Jane weeps her tears for her fallen lover, Thor's hammer comes alive and comes to our hero. Our hero quickly kicks the destroyer's ass as Loki brings the frost giants to Asgard. Heimdall breaks through the ice and helps Thor get back to Asgard as Loki betrays the king of the giants. The final brother battle begins as all secrets and motives are revealed. The two gods begin to tear the portal room as they burst into the Rainbow Road. Really? No, not that Rainbow Road. As Thor tries to figure out what to do to stop the giant laser beam, Thor uses his hammer to stop Loki from moving, only for him to turn around and destroy the road.
Forgive me, Jane.
Our movie ends with Loki being dropped into a wormhole, and we get a depressed Thor talking things out with his father and talking about his love for Jane as we are left empty-handed and wishing for a sequel. So there you go. That's Thor. Like most of the Marvel Universe films, this film is great. I personally cannot think of anything bad to say about the movie Thor other than Darcy. I'm sorry, I don't like the character. She's very annoying. Other than that, I'm your superhero critic. I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome. Join me next time when we go dive into the Watchmen.